In this video, we'll learn how to create this interactive and responsive accordion. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video on the channel. Today we're going to learn how to create an accordion. To get started, I'll select the text tool and create some text for our accordion. I'll keep the font size at 18 pixels. Just a reminder, I have this button separated, which will help us create our accordion. So now I'll select this text and right-click to add an auto layout. I'll go ahead and change the name of this element to FAQ item. Now I'll change the width of this auto layout element. I'll come over here to width and change it to 300 pixels. And here in the auto layout section, I'll change the positioning. I'll select left aligned. Now let's adjust the horizontal and vertical padding. I'll change both to 15 pixels. Now I'll add a white fill. And I'll drag this button into our auto layout element. Since I want to add this button to the right corner regardless of the text length, I'll transform this element into an absolute element. To do that, I'll click this button. Now I can move it to any corner within this FAQ item element. I'll drag this element here to the right corner and keep the spacing at 15 pixels as well. All right, I'll also change the color of this text to match the color of our icon. Perfect. We have the first part of our accordion. Let's start creating the content for this accordion. I'll select the text tool again and create a text box roughly this size, and put some placeholder text for our content. All right, we have our content. Now I'll select this text block and right-click to also add an auto layout. Let's change the width of this element. Again, I'll go to width and change it to 300 pixels. And I'll add a fill in a light gray color. All right, let's adjust the horizontal and vertical padding now. For the horizontal padding, I'll set it to 20 pixels. And for the vertical padding, I'll set it to 15 pixels. The horizontal padding didn't change because this text block has a fixed size. So let's change it from fixed to fill container. This will make it respect the spacing we defined. Okay, now I'll position this element, and first, I'll change its name to FAQ content. Before we continue, I just want to add a detail to this FAQ content, which is to add a stroke only on the left side. So, I'll click this button and select the left option here. I'll change the width of this border to 4 pixels and keep the default color we're using. Now, I'll move this FAQ content along with the element above it. I'll select these two elements and create a component from this accordion. Now, I'll click this button to add a variant. All right, we can change the name of the component to Accordion and change the name of the variant for each state. I'll change the name of this first variant to Closed. And for this second variant, I'll change it to Open. All right, Let's start by working on this first variant. I'll begin by changing the rotation of this icon. When it's closed, it will have this plus sign. And when the user clicks to close it, it should have this X. Alright, now we need to select only this element here, which is the content. We'll go to the Layers panel and select this FAQ content and click this eye icon. Alright, now I'll select the closed variant, and as we can see, even though we hid the view of this content element, it kept its height. To fix this, we'll click this button here to make it readjust its size. Now, it only keeps the size of the visible element. Basically, that's it. Let's test it to see how it looks, and we can go back and adjust it if needed. But first, we need to do the prototyping part. So, I'll switch here to prototype. I'll drag this plus sign from the first variant to the second. Keep the on-click interaction, smart animate, ease out, in 300 milliseconds. And I'll do the same thing from the second variant back to the first. Alright, now I'll create a new frame and change the background color to gray. And here in the Assets tab, I'll drag this component into our frame. And let's test it. Okay, now when we click, it shows our content. Great. Let's go back to our design and let's run a test. What if we have more elements? Let's see how it behaves. It's not responsive here, is it? Let's go back to the design and make some adjustments to solve this problem. I'll select these three components and right-click to add an auto layout. Alright, now I'll select just the middle component and change its state from closed to open. We can see it adapted with the standard text of our component. However, we need to test with smaller text sizes. So, I'll change this text here. I'll just reduce it. And as we can see, another problem occurred, which is this empty space. To solve this, I'll select this variant here, which is the open variant of our component, and I'll add an auto layout. Doing this should solve our problem. I'll select this component here and change it from closed to open, and it adapts as expected. I'll change this one back to closed as well. And let's test it. Now, when I click on our accordion with the smaller content text, it adapts to the size of our element. This was today's video. I hope it helped you. If you liked it, leave a like to help the channel, and if you aren't subscribed yet, subscribe to receive the next videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.